Hi teachers, if you're new here, I'm Kiki from Kiki in Her Classroom, and I am a 4th year 2nd grade teacher in California. Today what I have for you all is like a vlog style video. I'm actually attending a Google training, but it's all online. And so I'm going to my best friend's house and we're going to go to the training together. And so I'm just gonna kind of vlog, and then I'm hoping that by the end of every day, I'm gonna share with you guys like the top 5 things that I learned that I think are going to be really helpful for distance learning. I'm literally gonna go to Starbucks right now. I'm kind of out of breath because I'm like rushing to get out of here. I'm running a little late. I'm gonna pick up some Starbucks and then I'm gonna head over there. We're gonna have lunch together and we'll go to our trainings, and that'll be the end of the day. I hope that you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching, and let's go. All right, I'm getting ready because where I live, it'll be like 60 degrees in the morning, but then it'll be like 100 degrees by the afternoon. So that's why you need a jean jacket and a romper. Oops, you can't see. And a romper, because it's probably gonna be hot. And that's the good thing about doing online trainings is you can dress comfy. I'm going to be using my cheetah backpack for the first time. I got this from Target. Instagram made me do it because I literally went there, I took a picture of it, and I was like, I don't need this. And then I posted it and everyone told me,
you need this.
And I agree. I'm so happy I did, because now I'm like team backpack. I've always been like a teacher bag kind of girl, but I'm actually loving the backpack. So yay, thank you, Instagram. Bye, you be a good girl, okay? Go lay down. Bye, Gucci, love you. So I ended up getting a skinny iced coffee, and I don't put flavor in it. I'm not crazy about the syrup. Like I could totally do without it and just have like the coffee. And so I got that, and then I got my best friend Danielle a acai refresher, I think. I don't know. I looked at the text. And then I also got a spinach feta wrap because those are delicious. They're not like super low points on Weight Watchers. It's still like 7 points, but it's gonna be yummy, and I'm gonna need some food to fuel my brain. It's lunchtime. Yay! We survived the first half, and did you like it, Danielle?
I loved it. I learned so much.
It's seriously so good. I feel like this is bringing peace to distance learning.
And I feel motivated.
Yes.
To get started.
I know. We've been like sharing ideas in between each time that we go to a training, and it's so helpful. I love that we're doing it together. Yay! All right, lunchtime, I'm starving. Hi teachers, so I'm so sorry that I never checked in after the end of our meeting, but basically we finished up the meeting and then we copied all of our notes onto Google Drive and just went through and saved any other Google Slides presentations that we were interested in that we didn't get to attend because we still had access to the presentations and all of that, and just caught up and hung out, and then we had dinner there, and we literally got home at like 9 o'clock, and so now we're getting ready for bed. Instead of doing like one video a day with like the top 5 things that I learned, I'm going to vlog again tomorrow, and then I'll just share like the top 5 things that I loved and learned over the 2 days of the training. I will be checking in again tomorrow. Don't mind my bare face, I'm ready for bed. But I will see you guys again tomorrow. I'm skipping Starbucks tomorrow and I'm making coffee here. It's gonna be another full day of learning. So I'll see you guys then. Good night. Good morning and happy Thursday, I almost said Tuesday. It is day 2 of my vlog and the last day of the Google training, Google camp that I'm attending. Right now, I just finished getting ready. I'm gonna head back over to Danielle's house and we're going to finish strong today. I learned so much from like the trainings that she went to. It was nice that we did it together because like after every training, we just sit and like, okay, what did you learn? What did you learn? And I was like, oh my gosh, I really wish I would have gone to that one because like we tried to not go to the same ones. And so I definitely learned a lot from the trainings that she went to. I learned from the ones that I went to. Some were better than others, but I definitely feel like I got something out of every single one of them, which is really awesome. I'm excited to learn again. I absolutely love learning. I find joy in PD, especially when it's meaningful and useful and really good. This is just like the happiest of the past 2 days for me. I'm making my coffee right now and I'm so tired. What's so funny is I actually don't even drink caffeine. I used to, and now I drink decaf because caffeine I felt like would make me like nauseous. It was almost like too much. And so, yeah, I don't even drink caffeine. So technically it doesn't wake me up, but I swear I think it's something mental because after I drink it, I feel ready for my day. I forgot to show you how I mix my coffee, but I use half and half instead of creamer, and I put some of that and then I put like a spoonful of sugar and it's amazing, like so good. Good morning. She is not happy that I've been waking up early the past couple days. Hi teachers, so I just got home from the training and I wanted to share with you all some of the amazing things that I learned there. It was seriously such a great training and I'm so excited that I went. I almost didn't even go and I just was like, oh, I don't know if in July, you know, I'll be in the mood to do a training or whatever, but I am so glad that I did because with distance learning coming up and just going to this, it totally boosted my confidence and it boosted my motivation towards distance learning. Just feel like there's so many resources out there and it was so nice to hear from people who felt really positive about distance learning and who felt that if anything it was a great opportunity in education. Not that it's better than being in the classroom, but that it definitely can be still a great experience for students. Distance learning does not have to be this terrible thing. And I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from this. We can make distance learning fun. There's so many resources out there and it's such a learning opportunity for us and also for our students. I left the training feeling very inspired, as you can tell. And so I really want to take some of the things that I learned and I want to share them with you all so that I can spread that feeling of relief and of feeling like you're prepared for what's to come for the upcoming year. I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you all of the different meetings that I attended. So the first one that I went to yesterday was creating a positive culture, and I have my notes here. I took notes finally in my little pug notebook. I also attended a training on tech tools for the teacher toolbox. I went to a training that was called Jamboard in U, so I learned about Jamboard. I also went to digital choice boards via Flipgrid. That was all yesterday. Those were the 4 that I chose to go to. And then today I went to 4 new trainings. I attended Seesaw Up Your Math Lessons, which was awesome. I love Seesaw. The next one that I attended today was Google Literacy Centers. And I also went to create Seesaw activities with Google Slides. And last but not least, the last training of the day. So today was so good. Like the first 3 were amazing. And then the last one was like, okay. I have heard of Pear Deck. And so I chose to go to a training about Pear Deck. But because I had seen so many online resources, I was just kind of like, I knew in my mind that I loved Seesaw and I didn't see myself using Pear Deck. So I attended that for like half the time. And then I decided to hop into the Power of Math stations. So I got a little bit from those because I was kind of like half in one, half in the other. I'll be honest, they weren't my favorite ones. I still did learn something, and I at least learned what Pear Deck was because I really didn't know what it was before. I just don't think that I'll be using it with all of the other things that I really, really want to use. I'm going to get started with sharing the top 5 things that I learned from the Google training. The first thing that I learned was to do a Google Meet kickoff. And don't mind me, I have my little cheat sheet here as I'm sharing with you guys so that I don't forget anything. At the training I went to, which was creating a positive online culture, it talked a lot about how to create a positive culture with your students and with your parents. Something that they mentioned was doing a Google Meet kickoff, which is basically, let's imagine like a Meet the Teacher, but with your families and your students. You're meeting before the first day of school maybe, or if you can, and if not, then right at the beginning on that week, you'll get your family and your students together and just have this like huge family kickoff. There you can share about yourself. You can have students share with their families, ask them a question, and they can get together with their families and share. We can also play some sort of game together. Also suggested that if possible, you can record the meeting in case other families can't attend. Now I know that that means you'd have to get permission that everyone is okay with being on camera and stuff like that, but if you're able to do that or your school already has those permission slips, then it would definitely be awesome to record it so that any other families who couldn't attend could still watch. Another thing I learned at that training, I'm kind of putting this together as one because it's about building relationships with your families. I learned how important it is to have good communication with your families. Like that is going to be key. I feel like it's super important to constantly keep them in the loop because they're kind of working as a co-teacher with you, especially if you're a primary school teacher. So they talked about doing family check-ins. So you could share out a Google survey with your families and just check in and see how they're doing, see what they're struggling with, what are they liking, things that you can do, what do they need help with, and just always kind of get a feel for their needs and where you can support them more. Also, something that you can do with your parents is to send like a newsletter every week with just a breakdown, like maybe even of your lessons or whatever you have planned, just to let them kind of know what's going on in our classroom. Because really now we have our students, but now we also have their families, and that's a huge class family, and everyone just needs to be on the same page and everyone needs to know what's going on and just feel like we can all work together. Thing number 2 is Seesaw. Now, Seesaw in general, I learned a lot about. I had heard of Seesaw, but I never really knew exactly what it was. And what I love about Seesaw is that you can assign video links, you can assign pictures. Love that Seesaw has like the canvas where you can really just do anything in there. Students can do voiceovers on their assignments. You can do voiceovers with directions and attach a video to your directions for the assignment. Seesaw in general was a huge thing that I took away from the training. Specifically, something that I learned in a math Seesaw training was how to do math robots. There are hundreds, tens, and ones, and they can use those to create any robot. You could even attach like a video of you doing it as a sample, and then they do it on their own. And then on the side, they had to add up like the hundreds, tens, and ones that they used and show that number in standard form, expanded form, and word form. It was so cool. I'm gonna share my screen and show you guys what it is. So I created my classroom, and then I'm going to go to add an assignment or an activity. And I would create this new activity, and you can give it a name. So I'm just going to be pretty quick here, and I'm going to say math robots. And then you would give student instructions. You can even do voice instructions, or you can add multimedia instructions, which is like a video. So I could even do a video to explain how to do it. Now, after I fill in the directions, I'm going to skip that for now. You can go ahead and add a template for student responses. So I'm going to click on that. And that's where I want them to use the drawing board to do their responses. So students will see this when they go to make their math robots. In order to find the place value blocks, they're going to click on these little 3 dots, and they're going to go to shapes. And this is something that you would be explaining to your students. And then they're going to see here that there's the hundreds block, the tens block, and the ones block. So they can create their robot however they would like. So I could model, I clicked it twice, and I can drag these and start to create my robot. And then you can go ahead and go back to shapes, and I'm going to give my robot some arms and some legs. So I clicked it 4 times. And you would show students how to rotate these. And then I'm going to go back to my shapes and I'm going to select some of my ones. And I'm thinking 2 eyes, a nose, and maybe a smiley face. And then after you do that, then you can add standard form, expanded form, and word form. Now, in this case, I'm going to just click the T and it's going to create a box for me by clicking. And I'm going to write the value of my robot. So I have 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 241, 242, 243, 244, 245, 246, 247, 248, 249. So I'm going to go ahead and write that here. And you can actually make these boxes ahead of time so that your students don't need to add them. And then you can write it in expanded form. And word form. And that is how you do the math robots. The third thing that I learned that I really want to share with you guys is a literacy center activity. It's so simple and I feel like it can be used with so much. And I kind of did this during distance learning, but I really liked the idea of putting it on Seesaw. Basically what you do is you create a graph and it's a way to do a phonics sort. So the example they had was for like a kinder teacher. So if you have the letter A that makes the sound ah, you would have that, and then you'd have pictures and students would drag all of the pictures that make the ah sound, and then in another column they had the letter D, and so you drag pictures that start with that D sound and so on. She showed how you can use that for other grade levels and other phonics rules. For second grade, we do have a lot of phonics to cover. I thought, oh, what a great way to do a sort worksheet style practice, but we can do it digitally. Let me go ahead and share my screen and we can take a look. Now I'm going to show you how to create that Google Literacy Center where you can sort your pictures with your phonics sounds. So the most basic thing that we need to know is how to create that table. So you can insert table, and I'm going to have 3 different sounds and then a section for them to put it in. So I'm going to make it like this. And in here, what I'll do is I'm just going to highlight across and center it. And then I can also pick the font that I want. So let's go ahead and go with this one. And then you can increase the size. And then I'm going to create my sounds. So we have A for ah, D, D, and P. Now here, what I want to do is I want to extend this down. Once you have the table, then what I would do is go ahead and snip tool it so that you can save this to put into Seesaw if you plan on using it in Seesaw. You could just upload this directly as a picture, and then on Seesaw, you can go ahead and upload the pictures of things that start with the sound ah, D, and P. So if you're going to put it on Seesaw, I would recommend snipping tooling it. If you're going to use it in here, then you can go ahead and insert an image and search the web. And so Apple has the ah sound. So you can click it, insert. Obviously it's huge, so we want to bring it way down into size. It's way too big. And then you would want to go ahead and I would change that to wrap text. That way it's easy to drag, but you would keep it down here for students to sort. Oops. The fourth thing that I learned is a major YouTube hack. I don't know about you, but I love finding like songs and videos on YouTube that I can share in the classroom. Something that obviously happens when you try to share a video is you have all of those other videos on the side and you have the advertisements and just all of that stuff that's so distracting. And if you just want the student to focus on the video,
This is going to change your life.
So now I'm going to show you that YouTube hack. So let's say that I want to show a video of Jack Hartman naming the shape game or playing the name the shape game. So I'm going to go to the video and already you see that the link is up here and it says youtube.com/watch ? Blah, 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 blah. You're going to click and you're going to go right after watch and you're going to add underscore pop-up. And then I'm going to press enter. And that turns this into a full screen video with no ads on the side. So now I can copy this link and I can put this link into a PowerPoint. I can put this link into Seesaw. I could really put this link anywhere and it'll take my students just to this video. Hopefully you find it as helpful as I do. Last thing, the number 5 that I learned at the Google training that I really want to share with you guys is the idea of a digital choice board. If you do your live teaching and then you want kids to practice independently, I think that a digital choice board is such a great idea. One of the things that I liked was they basically had like a graph, and then on the right side it had the point value, and on the left side it had the activity. For example, like rainbow words, or even the example I shared earlier of the phonics sort, that could be one of the activities on your digital choice board, and you would give it a point value. And then at the bottom, students would have a task. So the student's task could be to earn 100 points by Friday, and they can choose which activities to do to earn 100 points. So they can do 2 50-point activities, or they could do, a ton of the 10-point activities and a few of the 20-point activities, or whatever they want to do. That's what makes it a choice board. So I really, really loved that. And then something else that I loved, a different take on it, is you can make it a menu. Now, I love this because it reminds me of like our class family, like, oh, it's dinner time, it's time for us to eat as a family. So students get to choose what appetizer they want, what main dish they want, maybe a side. You can even do like a meat, a side, a dessert, whatever you want. And then in each like appetizer, you have activity. So they have to choose one of the appetizers, whichever one they want. And then they choose one main dish, whichever one they want. And that's the way that they complete their choice board. So there's definitely options there for how you want to use the choice board. But I think the idea of having a choice board during distance learning is just amazing. I think it'll be so fun for students to be able to choose how they want to practice what they've learned or how they want to show what they've learned. And so I'm really, really excited to bring those into distance learning. All right, so those are the top 5 things that I learned from the Google Camp Google training and that I really, really wanted to share with you all. The top 5 things that I'm most excited about. So I really hope that you enjoyed learning about it. You don't have to do everything that you see. Even if this is like overwhelming to you, just like ignore me. Don't even listen. If you have ideas, do that. Like, do what makes you excited. I learned so much, but I kind of was like filtering out like, okay, what do I feel comfortable using? What do I think is going to fit my classroom? And you go from there. Don't feel pressured to use everything because
there is so much.
There's so much out there and it's like near impossible to use it all. I feel like if we try to use it all, we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna go crazy and our students are gonna go crazy. It's not gonna be good. So definitely pick and choose. Be picky when choosing those digital resources that you do want to use with distance learning. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope that you enjoyed this like vlog, top 5 tips for distance learning video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And thank you again for watching. Love you guys and have a great day. Bye.